Hello, lovelies. It's Tuesday. It's time for Tuesday's Tip. You ready to get busy? Let's do this. Come on in. I'm drinking Hot Melt Mix, which is our electrolyte blend that we have in our store. It's delicious with a cucumber lime flavor. It's an electrolyte, so it makes you feel good, especially if you're going through the keto flu. If some people are, because they are learning how to become fat burners as opposed to sugar burners. That's what this is. It has MCT oil in it and exogenous ketones. That's a nice thing. Come on in. I see people. I see people. Come on. Let's do this. I spilled some water on my desk. I'm watching you come in. Let's go. Let's go. We're running. Hi, Tammy. Good morning to you. I'm excited that you're here. Okay, we've got more coming in, and there's my lunch buddy, Cassie. Hi, Cassie. Good Tuesday afternoon. Are you guys ready for this? I've got some good stuff. You're going to want to take notes on today's stuff because I'm going to talk about checklists. Got some really exciting stuff for you. I'll show you just exactly what I'm talking about here in just half a second. There's Jenny and Jane. Hello, guys. Come on in. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, and you know, when you guys get in, I'm just going to say there are so many times when you're not going to get your notifications. And honestly, I just don't know what to do about that. We have, I don't get my notifications anymore either. It's a Facebook thing. It's not a us thing. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time that when you say, hey, what about this? I can't help you with that. And I really apologize. I wish I could. There's Vanessa and Marianne. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. It's good to see everyone, and we should be getting some more people in. Some more. Are you guys sharing, by the way? When you share your care, and this is how we give out our mindful mugs, and you know what a mindful mug is, right? If you are a part of our Sprint community, you certainly do, because that's one of our tools. I love tools. I love things that help me to do a better job than what I would normally do. Because if it's all left up to us, sometimes, you know, we do a halfway decent job, but then we need a little more help. There's Joanne. Hanneke's in the house. Good to see you guys. Hanneke's in Germany. So today is day 2 of the Sprint. If you are part of our Sprint, you know, let's call it a fellowship community, whatever you want to call it, but we sprint once a month, and we do this. It's a reset. You know, so have you ever needed to reset something? Have you ever had your Wi-Fi kind of go bonkers, and you call and you're talking to, you know, you're talking to the guy on at your provider for your Wi-Fi and all of that, and they're saying, well, you just really need to unplug it and press that reset button. You've done everything you can think of to do, and then you finally get desperate enough that you call. And then they tell you to do something that simple. But sometimes that's the way it is. It is that simple. Joanne got the mindful mug and my note. Yay, Joanne. I'm so glad. I appreciate it. So when you share, you care. And like I said, I watch people. And I just got my, this is all wet now. It's my list. This is my list of people who share. I look at this. I watch it. You know why? Because I care about building our community. I care about bringing the people in that need us. And we start with a free thing. We start with a free thing and we build from there. You know, if you feel like you need more help, there's more help available. But we start with something that's free. We start with something that's very effective. And we start with a community. I'm going to give you some things today on what you can do to make it even better. Because listen, we're all in this place of trying to figure things out, aren't we? Have you ever noticed, even with a plan, even with the whole, everything spelled out, that you find yourself in the place of just going, I just don't know what to do. I do that. We all do that. And we don't need to be drama llamas and say, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I can't do this. And I'm this, that, and the other thing. That has never helped me out. Has that ever helped you out? Has that ever gotten you what you want? No is the answer to that. So we're going to skip the drama, right? And we're going to get right down to the meat of the matter and figure out how to get this to the place where we can just bang it out the door. Okay? So here's the deal. First of all, let's get back to this whole thing. Mindful mug. It is on the plan. You will learn how to use a mindful mug. What this is, though, is something that you can win. You win by sharing. Share it. I will see it if you put it out there publicly. If you say a little something about this and you're doing it on a regular basis, your chances for winning go up exponentially. How about that? Or if you want to, you can buy $250 worth of our supplements, which means you're going to get a whole lot of good stuff and you'll get nice and stocked up, and we'll put this in free. Not only that, but if you add to the mix our Proactive Probiotic, you know what happens? You get everything free. Free, 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 free. I love free. Free is a good thing. Hey, Tracy, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Free is fabulous. Free shipping is fabulous. And I'm just going to put a word out there for probiotics. If you're not tending to your gut health, that could be the key that's holding you back from all the things that you want as far as weight loss is concerned, as far as feeling good, as far as getting your digestion dialed in. This is a key. This is a key factor. And I will also add, it is a key factor for improved immunity. Did you get that? Immunity is kind of important right now, right? It's flu season, and you know what? The you-know-what virus is all around us. That's all we can see on the news anymore. But if we have a healthy gut, 70% of our immune system is in our gut. This is how we feed our gut exactly what it needs. It's how we keep our gut health on point. If you don't have a probiotic in your life, come on. What are you waiting for? Now is the time. And I'll give you something too that you can do absolutely free. It's also in the Sprint document, and that is to make sure that you're drinking apple cider vinegar every single day. Now, drinking straight apple cider vinegar, not recommended. Not. You drink a straight apple cider vinegar, you're going to burn your esophagus and take the enamel right off your teeth. Don't do that. Put about a tablespoon in a glass of 8, 10, even 12 ounces of water. That helps. That's a prebiotic. In other words, it feeds the troops. It feeds the good guys down in your gut. So there's all kinds of things that we can do, but taking a probiotic, taking it at night, that's what I do every single day. I take a probiotic at night, and then I say a little prayer for I swear to you I do. I say a little prayer for my probiotic. I know that because of the way our probiotics are done, that it is bioavailable, meaning it falls apart inside the gut where I need it, not inside my stomach. Because by the time it gets to my gut, I've got very little to work with. I need my body to be able to work with what I have. And so the bioavailability is so crucial, so important, so right on the money. And let me just say this. I just know that my little good guys, I participate fully in my body's healing experience. It's a good thing to do. This is why I'm always saying to you, we don't want to be mindless, we want to be mindful. And this is one more way that we can participate in our body's healing experience. Everything we do in the Sprint is designated to heal and give your body the nutrition that it needs. We're overfed and undernourished, most of us. We have way too many carbs. Most of us are carb resistant, really, if you want to go to it. There's a lot of metabolic syndrome out there, by the way. That means if you have high blood pressure, if you have high blood sugar, if you have high low HDL and high triglycerides, that's metabolic syndrome. And that puts you in a place of compromised immunity. It also puts you in a place where you just really better watch it. You know, you're a walking time bomb. And if you've ever been told that by a doctor, be listening, because this is something that isn't to be messed with. You've got to work on this. And there's so many things that you can do. I say start with a Sprint. Let's clear the decks and get rid of those inflammatory foods. Let's get rid of the sugar. Let's get rid of all those carbs. And listen, if you've got a little spare tire around your belly, you know what that is? Your body's saying no to the carbs. Carbohydrates are not essential nutrients. Red alert! I bet you didn't know that. They just aren't. It's a macronutrient, yes, but they're not essential. They're not essential. No, someone doesn't need to invent a low-carb cereal. We just need to back away from the cereal. We don't need cereal. Cereal's crazy. That was an invention from the Kellogg's people who said that that's the most important meal of the day. It was a billion-dollar brain trust for these guys. Look how much money they made off of it. And what has it done? It's caused us all kinds of problems and all kinds of issues. So we just have to look at this. I am always looking at, like, what is it that we need? How do we heal our bodies? Where do we go from here? And aren't we already built with intuitive know-how to do this, to make ourselves well? I believe we are. I believe we are. And yes, of course, there's doctors out there who can help us out. And yes, of course, there are all kinds of people who can give us what we need, right? They can give us the pep talk that we need. They can give us the support and encouragement that they need. They can give us the groceries that they need, etc. But then we got to put the whole thing together. It's up to us. I can give you everything. I mean, I do. I have 18 pages of how to do this. I've got a whole series of emails, how to do this with a video encouragement that goes with it. But if you're not implementing it, you're not getting the benefit of it, are you? I can't do that for you. I can't come to your house, chop your veggies up and make your soup and all of that. I can't do that. It's physically impossible for me to do it. But what I can do is I can show you that there is a way to do this. There's a way for you to personalize this. And even for the 7 days, you know, because maybe on the maybe that soup you just do not like. Okay, just drink bone broth. Maybe you are just kind of, you know, in a rock and a hard place. And we had one sprinter who said, you know, I just get full. I just get full. I can't eat all of this. Okay, so here's what we do. We make a switcheroo, change-rama, throw a little spinach into that soup, add a little bit of protein, and there you go. Now you've got a soup that hits all the nutrient bases that we need and gives you exactly what you need. Cool, right? That's how it works. And that's how it is when you're charged up on your own know-how. Okay? That's what we're talking about. So let's remember this too, that you got to put ships free. By the way, when you're ordering that probiotic and you want to get free, you have to put ships free in the little promo window. That promo window will keep your whole cart, everything that you order, absolutely free. And if you're smart, you're going to go $250, you're going to get stocked up, and you're going to get a mindful mug at the same time. How cool is that? I'm sorry, but that is really super cool. We have a great quote of the week. Have you read it? Have you seen it? This is a meditation quote, I believe. It's fabulous. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow know what you want to become. That's Steve Jobs. They somehow know what you want to become, and that is your knowing, your intuition. That is part of your whole beautiful self. And I say to you over and over and over again that our beautiful selves have been sleeping and asleep at the wheel. And you know what we do? We so often default to somebody else's idea of what we should be doing. We look for the guru, we look for the book, we look for the program, we look for everything. We do not trust ourselves. We don't feel like we have the answers. We don't feel like we know what we're doing. We feel like we are just helpless, hopeless, just running around waiting for somebody to help tether our runaway cart. And at the end of the day, you know what it is? We all need very basic educations of understanding what nutrition can and cannot do for our bodies. And when we do this, we can make ourselves that much stronger. We can make ourselves that much more in the knowing. And you know, we also have to remember that a lot of this comes as there's kind of a price tag for our confirmation bias. We all have confirmation bias. There are those who watch Fox News and those who watch MSNBC because they're looking for their confirmation bias. This is why I think this way. This is why this is. Yes, I know that's political, but it's true because we all have our own biases. We want those confirmed. We do this with nutrition as well. And I'm going to tell you right now, believe it or not, nutrition is not 100% complete science. There's a lot of guesswork there. We only know so much. We are only discovering so much. Now, I read this book. I'm going to share it with you. It's called The Checklist Manifesto. And this was a book called How to Get Things Right. And the whole idea behind this book was that without checklists and without that extra precautions in place, planes crash, surgeries go very wrong, and science will disprove itself because something will get missed. And it is absolutely true. Checklists have always been a part of my game plan. I will plan, I will do whatever, but if I've got a checklist, that checklist is going to get me through to the next thing. So I want you to think about this in a minute, because we've talked about how what we think about expands. We talk about what we measure improves. I'm going to take it one more step. What we put in a checklist gets accomplished. There's so many things that we can easily miss. For example, if you work outside of your home and you're doing the sprint, you don't have it down on your checklist to pack your lunch, there's a chance, if you're not in the habit of doing this, that you'll forget about it. If you forget your lunch, you are at the mercies of whatever's going on around you. And if somebody brings something into the break room, like some Krispy Kremes or whatever, and you're starving because you forgot your lunch, you're thinking, well, I'll just intermittently fast till dinner and I can make it 4 hours. And you have this whole conversation going in your head. And then somebody brings something into the break room at work, game off. Now, had you had your checklist would have made sure that what you needed was right there in front of you. We rely too much on, yes, I've read it. Yes, I've read. I mean, for me, how many times have I read our sprint? How many times have I done edits on them and added things to them? I don't know, probably 5, 6 times. This thing is a couple of years old. I make it better. I see things that I didn't see before. But, that's just the way it is. That's how it is as you try to better something and make it better. Well, if you use a checklist, that checklist will take you to the place of understanding you're not overwhelmed. You just haven't written it down yet. You aren't stupid or you aren't inadequate. You're nothing like that. You just haven't taken the time to really write it down. Now, Marla and I, with all the things that we've ever done together, with when we wrote the book Body Clutter, this book now too, we've done plenty of brain dumps. Now, when you do a brain dump, you're just taking everything that's in your head and dumping it out. Anything that pertains or even comes close to what it is that you're trying to accomplish gets put into the brain dump. Sometimes that thing that seems like it's really obscure and why are you even putting that in there triggers somebody else or triggers something else so that you say, oh yeah, so that's the apple cider vinegar thing that I keep forgetting, or whatever it is. Sometimes it doesn't seem to make sense, but it gets put on the brain dump list anyway. And then that brain dump list can then become your checklist. I love checklists. I love checklists better than any kind of thing. Most of us use a grocery list, right? Most of us have a list of things that we do for our morning and our evening routines or our rituals if you're using our Take Back Your Life planners. We have things on there. And sometimes those things become autopilot, which is fantastic. There are things in our lives that we want to have on autopilot, right? What we want to have, though, is we want to have things that we can become mindful of. Those are those things that are written down. So as we have our lists and we can go through and start going boom, 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 that gives us an opportunity to really crank up and to make better the things that we're trying to do. It means that we don't forget we were just, somebody just said that I forgot my apple cider vinegar most of the time. But whatever, but you don't forget the apple cider vinegar because it's on your checklist. You don't forget to pack your lunch because it's on your checklist. Make yourself a checklist for the sprint. Yours is going to look different than mine, and it's why I don't do the grocery list for this, because to me, making the grocery list is really difficult for this. I don't know how you're planning. Are you going to do these meals? Are you going to do just the smoothie? Are you going to do the eggs? What are you going to do? So do the grocery list. It'll take you a minute. Once you've read through the whole sprint and you figure out exactly what it is that you want to do for you, then you can make the grocery list. It takes a minute. But you also have got to take this other list that I'm talking about, the checklist, so you don't forget it. It's your manifesto. It is your sprint manifesto because it keeps all the things happening. Set your clock so you don't forget to hydrate. Set your clock so you don't forget to stand up and go down those stairs and do a flight of stairs or two. Set your clock alarms so that it triggers and makes you remember, oh, I need to do this. Make a list of everything that needs to leave the house with you when you go out the door. When you go out the door with your list all completed, you're prepared and you're successful. And you no longer have this overwhelmed feeling. You no longer have this, it's too hard. It now becomes, this is part of what you do. You know, we've talked before about the discomfort that comes with doing things that are new. There is discomfort. It's not automatic. It's not simple. It's not easy. You have to go back and read the instructions. I'll tell you right now, Marla gave me this lovely, this is her old iWatch, and I have to learn this. And sometimes I have it on and then I'll take it off because I'm thinking later I'll do this. But you know, it's not hard. It just needs to be done. It just needs to be incorporated into my already learning. Just taking a couple of minutes every day to learn how to push the buttons, how to do all the different things that need to be done, how to do my workout. So yesterday when I was at the gym with this on, I learned how to do my workout finally, and now I've got a record of where the workout is. We all have things that we need to learn. We all have things that are a little uncomfortable that aren't automatic pilot yet. There are things that we want on automatic pilot, and there's things that we want to take off of automatic pilot and put into the mindfulness category, like eating our meals, like being prepared, like having a plan for our mornings and a plan for our evenings and being in them. Some of it can be automatic pilot, like laying out your clothes for the night before, packing your gym bag or whatever, unless you need a checklist for that and because you keep forgetting something. And there are other things that you need to be in it for. Like you sit down with your Take Back Your Life journal and you start writing about a course correction that you needed for that day so you can do better the next day. Not because we're trying to be perfect, but because we're trying to be excellent. Because something didn't go smoothly, something can be shifted so that we can make it better and make it work better for us and make us feel good about our accomplishments. And speaking of accomplishments, I want to stop undermining yourself by saying, yeah, but I could have done this, or yeah, but I could have done that. Even when we do our course correction, I think we need to look at our course corrections as, you know, don't forget tomorrow, don't forget that little shampoo, you know, that little travel size shampoo that you took home from the hotel. Don't forget about putting that in your gym bag so you can wash your hair next time when you're out at the gym. Or you can beat yourself up and just say, oh, so I had dirty hair and it was all because I forgot this and I can't do that. Yeah, but and then somebody says, but you go to the gym, good for you. Yeah, I had to walk around all the next day with dirty hair. You've just belittled and undermined everything that you've done. You've created this new habit of going to the gym and you just butted it into the grave. You know, so many times, that is oftentimes what comes out of our mouths. You look really pretty today. Yeah, thanks, but you know, I haven't really pulled myself together today. Or, yeah, but you know, it's really off. What about all these circles under my eyes? Or getting sleep last night? We undermined our accomplishments. When we can stand in our accomplishment and say thank you and take a compliment sincerely, that helps a lot. When we can check the boxes on our checklists and make sure that we have successfully filled, you know, all the requirements that we needed for that particular checklist, it makes everything so much easier and we feel good about that success. You know, success is something that we can do on a daily basis because we've put things in place, little strategies, little frameworks, little checklists that help us to become successful. And I say this because for some of you, this is your first time on the sprint. And I get it. The sprint, it can be a little bit intimidating. There's 18 pages there telling you what to do. There's 18 pages that explains the science behind all of it. Don't let 18 pages, flip you out. Instead, go at it as a student. Take it and just enjoy that there is so much information there that's helping to bolster up doing things the way you're supposed to, and knowing that you're doing this according to science. How cool is that? So keep that in mind. Don't yab about your accomplishments by any stretch of the imagination. Make your checklist so that when you leave the house today or tomorrow or whatever it is that you're doing, that you have everything in place that you need. Make sure that you have these things and make sure that you're following through. And if you need help, for heaven's sakes, we have the Sprint group just for you. Reach out, say, I'm really having a hard time with this. Say whatever it is that you need to say. We'll be there to help you. That's what sisterhood is all about, right? Put your pinkies up. I know my pinky girls are out there. This is how we are. We are a sisterhood. We are a sisterhood of caring women who have each other's backs. This is why the Sprint is so successful. This is why so many women, 2,500 women now, have joined us so that we can do this together. And this is why it's free, because I'm here to help you. I've got your back. I want you to be successful. This is how you get to play full out in your life, changing up your fuel and becoming the very best that you can be. Yummy. How good is that? Isn't that what you want for your life? I know that's what I want for my life. There's our pinkies, my girls with the pinkies. Amy is here. Amy shared. Thank you for sharing, Amy. Don't forget to share. Sharing means that you're caring. You're bringing people in that need our help. And you're a part of this. It's not just my show, right? It's not just my little Sprint show over there in our Sprint group. This is for all of us. This is a group. It's deliberately a community. It's deliberately a community because I know without a shadow of a doubt, after reading 9 studies that proves that communities help other people to not only lose their weight, but to feel good about doing it while they're doing it. It's amazing. Research behind it. I like research. So if you are a part of our Take Back Your Life group, we have a class coming up at 2 o'clock Eastern right away. So join us for that. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for another show right here on Saving Dinner. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for caring. I love you all, and I really, really do appreciate everything that you bring to my life. Thank you so much. Peace.